Hi everyone. So today I want to ask you something. How often do you use your calendar? Or rather, in your daily work, how much of a role does your calendar play in it? Now, there was a time, maybe 5, 7 years ago, where I was not one of the people. I knew friends who, even in their personal lives, when we had to set up something, a time to go out, I was very impulsive. So, hey, let's go out, plan it either today, tomorrow, and let's go. But there were some of my friends, or rather a couple of them, who, when you talk to them about going out, they would look at the calendars. And more so, I found more people in my workplace when you ask them about any kind of small work, small meeting, um, long meeting, they would always depend on their calendar, not just for this week, for next 2 weeks, next 3 weeks, next month. And they were very heavily dependent on their calendar. Now, very soon, in the last 5 years, I have started doing that, at least in my workplace, where I use my calendar very heavily. And even the smallest of tasks, if something takes less than 5 minutes, that doesn't go on my calendar. If something I can do right now in 5 minutes, it always gets done first. But if something is large, 15 minutes and more, it goes into my calendar. If I have to meet someone, it goes into my calendar. If I have a task, it goes into my calendar. If I have a reminder, sometimes even that goes in my calendar. So I use calendars very heavily. And you would find in the world outside, successful people, productive people always have a tool. For many of them, it will be the calendar, to remind them to stay on track, to achieve their goals, perform their tasks, at least the daily tasks, and always um, have that focus of completing your tasks and achieving your goals, and hence being highly productive. Those who don't use their calendar work on a very ad hoc and in an approach where whatever's in front of you gets done, whatever is not, you don't deal with it. So, being a CISO, being a manager, director, VP, CISO, you would be very busy. And I would highly recommend and urge you to be dependent on your calendar, if for nothing else, like me, if for nothing else, just to remember to do things. Because otherwise, if it's not in your calendar, for me, if it's not on my calendar, it sometimes doesn't get done. So, to be productive, I always use my calendar, even for the smallest tasks, 15 minutes and above. And I would urge you to do that as well. If you have not been doing so, this will really increase your productivity. You will find that you could do much more in a day, in those 6, 7, 8 hours, than you would have done if you weren't putting things in your calendar and were not dependent on your calendar. You would see that there would be a lot of free time, you would do a lot of ad hoc work, but now those things will change. Now you have focused, you have things to do, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, all those slots get booked in your calendar, and you are now hyper focused on completing those tasks, achieving your goals, and being highly productive. And as a CISO or anyone in the managerial hierarchy of cybersecurity does need to adopt and adapt to this new working style. Let me know if you have any comments, any feedback, your experiences. Let me know in the comment section below, and I will see you in the next one. Stay safe.